Hi, I'm Jill Deneen, and in this video I'm going to tell you a little bit about who I am and how Landscape of Mothers came to be. I spent most of my life in ecology and biology. I was doing a PhD in conservation biology when my oldest child was born. A year and a half later, I had a second baby, and my postpartum depression was incredible. It was really difficult. I spent a lot of days not sure if all of us were going to survive it. And part of climbing out of that really deep hole was kind of recognizing some of the ways that my mental state collided with how I had been raised and how what I wanted and valued was different. And so I was just in this really deep whirlpool is what it felt like. So I started doing what academics do, and I started reading books and going to classes, and I enrolled my kids in a preschool that was a parent education preschool. And I think my biggest frustration there, I learned a ton, and it was super helpful, and it saved me. And what I learned there, I found very hard to implement. And it took me years to figure out why. And a lot of it was just that I lacked some basic skills, some basic things about soothing and regulation and relationship skills. And so I found a lot of those like positive parenting or attachment parenting things really hard to implement, or at least implement in a way that felt good to me. And so in a lot of ways, I raised myself as I raised my children who are now teenagers. And so in the beginning, I kind of thought that in order to care for them, I had to totally put myself aside. And that made everything so much worse. And so one of my first lessons was what I called at the time sanity first. But what it really meant was I had to learn how to take care of myself in some ways before I could really take care of my children the way that I wanted to. And really it was an exercise or a lesson in what I consider now to be embracing full humanity. So eventually, years later, just about 2 or 3 years ago now, there was a night in February and the moon was full, and I got ready for bed. And that's often a moment where I'm setting down my thoughts and stuff. And so all of a sudden there was a thought, Landscape of Mothers. And I thought, ooh, that's kind of good. Like, I wonder what that is. And I wrote it down. And I got in bed and turned off the light. And then information actually for the wind mother started to come through. And so I turned on the light and I started writing, and it was kind of exciting. And I turned the light off and tried to go back to sleep. And then more stuff came through. And pretty soon, because I was afraid my husband was going to get driven insane by the light on, light off, light on, light off, I just sat there and wrote by the full moonlight. And it was the beginning of probably 35 or so archetypes that came through. And some of them I worked with for a little while, and some of them, these landscape mothers, these became like my rock, my root, my ability to understand and coalesce all the things I had been through in trying to find and cultivate my own skills and in relationship, and finding my own way through the unknown of parenting in a way that felt right with my values and my the things that I want to see in the world. And so that's sort of the short version of Landscape of Mothers. So thank you so much for participating in this class. I hope that it gave you a place to begin, a place to feel like you can get yourself rooted, and to start your own exploration of what mothering means to you. Thank you.